Okily dokily. Let me see. Awesome. I think we have connected properly. If you are there, first of all, let me hold on, back up, Alexis. It shows me that I'm connecting. So if anyone, as soon as you guys see this, hear this, let me know, leave me a comment just so I can check, just to make sure everything's good. I'm just looking and waiting. Hello, you guys. And thank you so much. I'm just going to go ahead and start talking as though this is working, right? But, oh, you know what? I can check here real quick. Let me check and see if this goes through. Yes, yes, yes. It is connected. Okay. And hold on. Yep. And you can hear it. Awesome. Okay, cool. Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today for today's live business training, which is called Build Your CEO Strategy. I am your host. Oh, you know what? Let me pop up my things. Let me see. Intro. Here you go. I am your host, Alexis, also known as Miss Trenchcoat, all across the internet. I'm an online entrepreneur who helps ambitious women get all of their big thoughts, plans, dreams, and ideas out of their head and onto paper so they can get down to business, creating their dream life. And that's what we're talking about today. In a sense, creating your dream business, which will in turn help you to create your dream life. So I know that this is not the first class I've ever taken. I've seen so many of you guys who are familiar faces in the comments. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. And many of you guys kind of know the drill with my live trainings. So this is what we're going to do. In order to keep on a nice brisk pace today, I'm going to just go ahead and jump in with our guided meditation. You guys may know I usually start with a guided meditation. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's make sure that we are all relaxed in our seats wherever we're sitting. We have our palms facing up, shoulders down and back. If you want, go ahead and roll your neck for just a moment. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do 3 guided breaths. I'm going to guide you through 3 breaths, and then we're going to start reciting out loud some affirmations. Now, I'm going to put the affirmations on the screen, and if you'd like to write them down, feel free to write them down. I encourage you to say them out loud if you're somewhere where you feel like confident to do that. Obviously, if you're in the middle of a library, don't want to be like talking out loud, saying affirmations, but I just want to make sure that you guys get these programmed into your head. And I do have the affirmations listed in the description box of the video. Also in the description box, if you haven't gotten it yet, if you're not already on my email list and didn't get the email this morning with the link to the workbook, you can go ahead and sign up and get the workbook that goes along with this class as well. So you have some things to take with you and some journaling prompts and just things to think about as you process, your business. So let's go ahead and do our breathing first. So we're going to go ahead and breathe in through the nose, a nice, deep, intentional breath. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds at the top of the inhale, and then we are going to exhale out our mouths with a nice sigh. So let's go ahead. In through the nose. Hold. Release. And I always feel the biggest shift after the first one of those sighs. Let's do 2 more. In through the nose. Hold. Release. And 1 more time together. In through the nose. Hold. Release. And now we're going to start reciting some affirmations together. And the purpose and intentions of these affirmations is to help you guys open your mind, release any blocks, and really make sure that you guys are learning as much as you can from today's class and just open to receiving the information that I have to share with you guys. So let's go ahead and start, and you can feel free to continue doing that breathing. I am ready to receive everything this class has to offer me. Go ahead, say it out loud. I am ready to receive everything this class has to offer me. Feel free to write it down in your journal, on a notebook as well. I am ready to receive all the knowledge Alexis is ready to share with me. Your turn. I am ready to receive all the knowledge Alexis is ready to share with me. I am ready to receive the inspiration, motivation, and guidance to manifest my desires. Your turn. I am ready to receive the inspiration, motivation, and guidance to manifest my desires. I am ready to release all blocks and limiting beliefs holding me back from fulfilling my soul's calling. Your turn. I am ready to release all blocks and limiting beliefs holding me back from fulfilling my soul's calling. I feel myself now opening, expanding, and integrating everything I need to know to live my best life. Your turn. I feel myself now opening, expanding, and integrating everything I need to know to live my best life. I am guided, I am led, I am supported, I am enough. My work is enough, my intention is enough, my effort is enough, I am enough. Last one, you guys. I am guided, I am led, I am supported, I am enough, my work is enough, my intention is enough, my effort is enough, I am enough. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So I hope you enjoyed those affirmations. Again, like I said, in the comments, they are actually, not in the comments, in the description box of the video, they're actually all listed out. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the class materials because I do want to, like I said, I want to keep up a brisk pace. And I want to make sure that we're doing well for the replay as well. And then, of course, once I'm done presenting, we can do open Q&A. So, of course, as you are going through this class, if you have questions, always write them down. And if I answer them during the training, excellent, you've got your answer. If I don't, please make sure you bring them up in the Q&A session. So, hold on, let me go ahead and jump in. And of course, this would be a great time to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If you're someone who's new, welcome, welcome. Okay, let's see. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. And I am going to close the comments. So I'm not going to be able to see them while we're live because that will distract me. But I am keeping my picture up on the corner for you guys. Oops, you know what? Let me close out of this too. There we go. So, hello, thank you for joining me today, and welcome to Build Your CEO Strategy, hosted by me, Alexis, also known as Miss Trenchcoat all across the internet. So, first things first, set a goal for what you hope to get from today's workshop and write down any questions to ask me in the Q&A. I know I already said that. I forgot it was in my presentation. But that's the first thing I want you to do. I think that when you actually sit down and you get intentional and you say what it is that you want to get out of a situation, experience, etc., you're more likely to get that out of the experience if it's there. So this is actually in the workbook. If you have the workbook, you can go ahead and there is a space for you to write down what your goal is, why you showed up today, what it is you're hoping to get. Let me know. And feel free to go ahead and leave it in the comments as well. I would love to be able to read through those and see what you guys were hoping to get out of today's class. Now, moving on. I have a question for you, which is, what does being a CEO mean to you? Okay, so I know that word CEO probably invokes a lot of different ideas in a lot of different people's minds, but what does being a CEO mean to you? I would like to know. This is another thing you can feel free to leave in the comments. I'd love to hear everyone's feedback on this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it means to me. So the word CEO is usually chief executive officer of a company, right? But for me, when I use this term, I have my own little, what is that called? Oh my God, I can't think of what the term is when you have the abbreviations and the letters, but it stands for Creative Entrepreneur Optimization. And this is a strategy that I've been using and building over the past few years. You may know that last May, I launched my CEO Strategy Planner, which was all about really having these great worksheets that could guide you through your business planning process. So if you have not yet seen that, that is definitely a planner you're going to want to consider if you're someone who is running their own business or doing any sorts of digital marketing, online media sort of things. That's very helpful. So Creative Entrepreneur Optimization. For me, This kind of is stemmed from the idea that whenever I would see entrepreneurs online, everyone always had this process for personal development, hacking themselves, right? So you could be the best entrepreneur you could be, the best version of yourself you could be. Really, for me, I would say that this started with the book, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. For those of you who don't know, that book was definitely the moment where I said to myself, oh darn, I could run my own business and it could give me my dream life. Like I could have the life that I want in every single way, time freedom, location freedom, every sort of freedom if I became an entrepreneur. And I think I might actually be able to do it because I'm kind of tech savvy, right? So Tim Ferriss was the first person I would say that I was introduced to who was all about like hacking as an entrepreneur, yourself, making sure you're developing yourself personally. And so for me, in the recent years, as my business has been growing, I have been really yearning for like a system to optimize myself, really, learn how to plan and balance myself the best ways I can. And that's what my CEO strategy is all about. So for me, that creative entrepreneur optimization boils down to 3 really big things. Getting clear on all the amazing ideas you want to execute on for your business. That's the first part of this. I don't know about you, but I am definitely someone that I would consider to be a multi-passionate creative. I have a lot of different interests within, the scope of what I do, right? I don't just do one thing. I do a lot of things. I guess you could say like jack of all trades sort of a thing, but I actually have lots of different things that I want to do creatively. And I find that when you are a creative person, right, a lot of the ambitious women in my community are multi-passionate creatives. So the first thing that kind of comes to mind with this CEO optimization is getting clear on what it is that we want to actually bring to fruition, right? And I think for a lot of us, sometimes we have all these ideas and we don't know where to start, right? So this is the first kind of pillar of this process. Next is finding the marketing systems that easily build your ideal community. So I talk about systems often. I'm definitely someone who likes to systematize things as much as possible. So all that means is literally once you found the way something works, which is actually a very important part of systems, once you find the system that works, the process that works. It's about codifying it and repeating the process, making it your go-to. Now, in terms of productivity, when you have a system that you rely on, right, it helps you become more productive and efficient because you are asking yourselves fewer questions. Like, you don't have to answer the question every time you go to do something of, what do I need to do? What do I need to do next? You already have the process. It's already laid out. All you have to do, if the system works, is execute on it, and you should be getting repeatable results. So that's the second sort of facet of the creative entrepreneur optimization, is really finding the systems for marketing that easily build your ideal community. And I'll tell you this, they're not the same for everybody. They're not the same for everyone. So this is all about finding the systems that work for you. And finally, organizing our time and business around our strengths and needs so we earn more money with less effort. So if you guys are new to me at all, and any of you who are OGs, you'll know, a vast majority of my business is passive income. This means that I put things in place, I put systems in place, I create marketing materials, and I put them out in the world, and they continue to deliver for me, right? So that is something that always is saving me time, right? Because I am doing something once and it's giving me repeated results without me having to really go back into that system and touch it, which is always awesome. Now, of course, as well as an entrepreneur, a lot of us, especially because we're talking about creative, ambitious women here that we usually have, like I said, we're multifaceted. We usually have more than one thing going on. So your business might be a side hustle. You might also be a mother. You might just have other things that you're doing in your community, with your friends, with your family. So you have a very full life already that you need to organize. So what is it that we have to do in order to make sure we're remaining focused on our business goals and still having that balance with our life, with our family, with our other work and our obligations and responsibilities, right? So that's the third pillar of, I shouldn't say pillar, but like the facet of the optimization for CEOs, right? So to me, CEO strategy is all about balance. So the small business CEO needs to balance work on their big picture vision for their businesses with executing on the individual details and day-to-day tasks. So I would say that most CEOs actually get stuck in one of these two critical business activities. So if that's you, let me know. If you're someone who either has a hard time coming up with the big picture vision, okay? That's one thing. And that's really, if you think about it, being a CEO, being the head of an organization or business, your main focus is outlining, creating that big picture vision for the direction of your business. But because many of us are small businesses, we are solo entrepreneurs. I am a solo entrepreneur. I'm the only person currently working in my business. Sometimes I work with VAs or other people that I contract to do things, but I am the one who's solely responsible for my business. So I have to balance that big picture vision of where I'm going with the day-to-day tasks actually getting the work done, right? So I have to be the CEO and I have to be the admin as well. So I have to be switching between two parts of my brains, right? So if you struggle with one of those, let me know which one you struggle with. I'd love to know. So before we get too deep in all of this, I just wanted to say that you're in the right place today if any of these situations apply to you. So you let me know. You've been thinking about and planning out your dream business for a while now, but you've not taken any significant action to make it a reality, right? I know that I was in this place for a couple of years. And maybe it wasn't actually, I wouldn't say that it was maybe like a couple of years. It probably was just maybe like a year or so where I was thinking about starting something, and I did have a blog and I did have a YouTube, but I really wasn't posting like consistently at all. So I was always thinking and dreaming and planning, but never really organized and executing, right? So if that's you, let me know. But if that's you, that you are in the right place. Now, this is also the right place for you if you see and follow lots of other online businesses and often think to yourself, I could do that and I'll start a business someday. But the days passed with little to show for your daydreaming, right? So you're someone who's like seeing this life, seeing this lifestyle and saying, I really want this. I feel like I could do that, but you're not actually taking any action on it. If you've tried to take action in the past and became overwhelmed with all of the pieces that go into starting and running a business, and then you maybe gave up before you really got your idea off the ground, this is also the right place for you, right? So, I've definitely worked with a lot of clients in the past who have started something, but then it wasn't working, right? They thought they were putting in good effort. They thought the needle should be moving in the right direction, and then it just didn't. So they kind of just gave up. Trust me, I understand that business, online business, all of that stuff can be complicated, right? But it isn't just, and we'll talk about this as we go through today's training, it isn't just like if you build it, they will come, right? You have to make sure, like I said earlier, that the systems that you have in place are actually working before you throw all of your energy behind them, right? So that's a very important part of this puzzle. So this is also the place for you if you've been trying for years to get a business going, and maybe you've had several iterations of like your dream business. They've come and they've gone, and you just keep starting new businesses, and maybe they fall to the wayside and you do something else and that doesn't work out either. You just can't really get traction with one business. Now, this is something that I see a lot in the entrepreneurial space. And let me know if you guys notice this as well. I notice that a lot of times, a lot of people who are online businesses or, entrepreneurs, small business owners, they've not done just one business. They've had a lot of little businesses, and maybe they've jumped from thing to thing. And I'll be honest with you, that hasn't been my experience, right? I had one business that I figured out the systems for and kept putting my effort behind, and it kept growing and growing and growing. But I see a lot of people who they really want to be an entrepreneur is what I think it is. You really want that lifestyle. It is your calling inside of you. But maybe because of the multi-passionateness, there's so many different directions that you get pulled, and so you dabble with different things and let things go. But I think that when you see people who are doing this, there's absolutely nothing wrong with people doing this, by the way. But I've just noticed that a lot of people do this. They jump from business to business to business. And I think what the issue is that the business, what they were doing like the first time wasn't working out the way they thought, but they still had that motivation and inspiration. So they started another business. So it's not like the situation of someone who's tried in the past and then gave up. You tried in the past and then kept going with another idea. You're just waiting for the right idea. I'm telling you this right now. yes, having the right idea is very good, is very important, but it's not the idea that is really the big piece here. The piece is that you were putting effort behind systems that were not generating you results. Okay, so that's really what the piece is here. So if there was an idea that you had and you're like, oh, I really loved that business, but it didn't really work out, right? And you're like, on to the next, right? I see that you have that indomitable spirit of you're going to become an entrepreneur, but I really want you to focus on one business, and it can have multiple facets. You can do a lot of different things under one business or one umbrella, but I want you to stick to one business and actually get results from it, because there's nothing that feels better in the world than when you actually start building something and you see that your effort's paying off, right? That's the thing that we're all looking for. We're looking for our effort to actually pay off. None of us are being lazy. None of us are trying to skirt around, right? I'm all about working smarter, not harder, of course, but I just want to see that every day my business is growing. All the things that I'm doing, putting effort in, are working, right? That's the goal. Really, I think that's the thing that makes us feel like we're doing it, we made it, we're successful, really. Okay, so you're in the right place if any of those situations apply to you. Next, I want to ask you another question, and this is in your workbook. If you've got the workbook, you have a space to journal about this. Why will 2021 be the year for your business? So some of us spend years thinking about planning out our businesses, never taking action, or like we talked about before, trying and skipping around or trying and giving up. So why must 2021 be the year that you finally get your business started or set up properly to ensure your future? Again, I want to know in the comments what your why is. Why does this need to be the year? I mean, for me, I would say obviously I've been doing this for a while and my business is going in the direction that I wanted to go in. But I would say that COVID and everything that's going on for me personally, that's really shown me how necessary it is for me to run my own business and to be kind of the master of my own ship and, the person who's in charge of my own destiny. I can't rely on another business. I can't rely on another company. I have to be the one who takes responsibility for myself and makes it work. So 2020 taught us that lesson, you know what I mean? That whatever job you thought was secure was maybe not as secure as you thought. And so if you've been dragging your feet on starting your business, this has to be the year that we do it. There's no time but the present, and I want to know what your why is. Okay, so I love this. This is one of my favorite slides. Why should you even listen to me? Right? So I know a lot of you know who I am, but some of you may be newer to me than others. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. Hello, my name is Alexis. I'm also known as Miss Trenchcoat all across the internet. I'm a full-time creative entrepreneur. I design and sell productivity and business tools to help ambitious women get their ideas out of their head and onto paper so they can get down to business. Now, the most notable thing, I guess, about my career as an entrepreneur, right, my little soundbite, is that in 2014, I left my stable Fortune 50 career to work full-time for myself. So I run a six-figure, mostly passive income business from home or from wherever I am at the moment. And I've taught hundreds of women my methods and processes, and I would love to pass on some of my wisdom to you as well. So I've been doing this for a while. I went full-time for myself in 2014. Like I said, I've only had one business. I've just been putting my all in it, right? This is my business. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I may come up with new ideas that change and evolve, and that big picture CEO vision that I have for where my business is going may change. I may steer the course, a different course, but this is what I've been doing full time. It's been working for me, and I've found the hacks and the systems that really help me to build the momentum and to earn the type of revenue that I would like to earn and have the sort of impact that I would like to have in the world. So let me go ahead now and tell you a little bit about how I started my online business, because a lot of people always have questions about this. And I think it does help to have the context of what my journey was like. So you understand that no journey just moves super smoothly, right? There's always hiccups. There's always lessons. There's always obstacles to overcome. So we're going to have to go way back to 2008. So we're going to go back in time right now to 2008, because that's really when all of this started. So I had just graduated college. And if you remember, 2008 was a terrible time for the economy and jobs. I'm sorry, make sure you have a drink. I have 2 drinks right now. I've got a smoothie thingy and I've got a water. I wanted to write. When I graduated college, I thought I wanted to be a writer for a magazine. Okay. So while I was waiting to land my dream job, I did the thing that I thought was logical, which was I started a blog because it was kind of like a digital magazine, right? But blogging was not it was not then what it is now, right? So in 2008, blogging was totally different. The whole influencer, market was totally different. So I did need a job, and eventually I landed a job at a Fortune 50 company doing administration, sales, and marketing. It was the furthest thing from my dream job, but I was glad to have one. And let me explain this to you because I think a lot of people think that I have a marketing background, like in college, which I don't. When I was in college, and I actually graduated early from James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia, I graduated with a BA and I had 2 full majors. So I was an art history and political science double major. I had no intention of going into sales and marketing. Like, it was never on my list. I thought I was going to be a writer. That's what I thought I was going to do. Right? I actually had applied for a master's program that I got into, but then eventually couldn't afford the loan to go to Sotheby's, their art business school in New York City. So I ended up having to go get a job. So I do not actually have a formal background in sales and marketing, but I did work for over 5 years at a Fortune 50 company doing sales and marketing. So I did pick up some things, but I don't actually have a formal background in that. That's not what my degree is in. So getting this job at the Fortune 50, furthest thing from what I thought my dream job was going to be. But I did hold down the 9 to 5 while I worked on my side hustle, like a second job. So like many of you, I had to do 2 things at once. And during that time, I was focusing a lot on my blog and a lot on my branding. So you can see here on this slide, and actually my head's blocking one of them, but it's okay. Over the years, I had 2 different blogs before I ever got to my current blog, Strange and Charmed. Okay. So I've rebranded a few times. And as you can see, the progression of as I got more trial and error under my belt, I was able to refine what I was doing and get a lot more clarity until where you see I am today. My current blog and my shop look like this, right? So what you can see on screen, this is what my blog and shop currently look like. A lot different from where I had come from. So what you need to know about this part of my story is that my business and my online success did not happen overnight. There is no such thing as an overnight success. It's just the illusion of it. The years I spent dabbling with my brand and content were years I spent gaining important skills that I would need in the future. And I had to overcome setbacks and the evolution of my brand to see it to where it is today. So just know that if you are having those sorts of struggles, that's completely normal. And it really is only through the trial and error that you're going to work those things out. You have to keep going. So by 2014, I had made major progress in my business. So from 2012 to 2014, I developed serious consistency in my branding and content. Remember, like I said, I wasn't very consistent in the beginning. Even though I had the blog, I had the YouTube channel, I wasn't being consistent with my posting and what I was doing and what my direction was. But in 2012, things changed and I started getting that consistency. And guess what happened? My following grew consistently as well. My content improved and my messaging began to sync. I was earning a consistent income from YouTube and blog sponsorships. So not enough to quit my job willy-nilly, but I could see that my effort then was starting to pay off. And I began to see and feel that my opportunity to turn my side hustle into my 9 to 5 was approaching. So what you need to know here is that consistency is the quickest route to success. When I was all over the place, I wasn't building anything. The more action and execution you take, the faster you will find consistency. That's very important. There's no substitution for effort. And like I said, the ideal here is that once we find what works and we systematize it, we can go ahead and throw full force at that system, and you should be generating more consistent results. Okay, next part, ejecting from my 9 to 5. In early 2014, I stumbled upon the planner community, of which I'm sure most of us watching belong. My platform started growing at an amazing speed. I had found a community of like-minded people who appreciated my content and skills. It took me a while to understand that I had been building up the skills and content, but what I was missing was an understanding of who my ideal audience was. So once I saw my opportunity to take my business full-time with the planner community, I made a plan to achieve it. So I built up a savings cushion and set a specific income goal for income proof before I left my job. And once I hit my goal, it was time for me to be brave and let go and just take the leap. It's a very scary thing to leave a secure job, but I made the plan, I hit the goal, so I had to trust that I'd be able to do it. Again, once you have the systems in place and you're seeing the proof, right? Every time you put in effort into the system and it's working out, it means it's okay to let go. You know what I mean? As long as you have other, backup things in place. Like I had like a nice big savings cushions in case something happened and all my, income from my business went away and I had to go look for a job, I was going to be okay. So what you need to know is that alignment is essential for success. So you need your vision and actions to align with a community of people with a specific desire or need. The more you can prepare for your transition, the better. So save as much as possible, get rid of excess expenses, simplify your life just in case, and don't let fear hold you back. Use it to fuel your passion to succeed. Then replacing my income in 6 months, because this is my whole story, right? I left my job and then I replaced my income in 6 months. When I went full-time for myself, I thought I would be a full-time blogger or YouTuber, right? But it wasn't working out for me. My platforms were growing, but the income wasn't growing at the same rate. So this is the nature of blogging or YouTube. You could get to like a certain level and you could be growing, but without like reaching the next level, you could hit a little bit of a ceiling. So then I started listening to my community and they were telling me what they wanted. They wanted my planner inserts and strategies. They wanted me to sell them planner inserts. They wanted me to sell them classes on all of the productivity things that I had learned and researched and was teaching them on my YouTube channels. I don't know why I said channels. So I used my web design skills to build out my own online shop and I started designing and selling more inserts. As soon as the shop launched, I'm not kidding you, this is like the most amazing thing that I did not expect in the entire world, was that when the shop launched, my income completely transformed because I now had an income stream that was added on top of the blogging and YouTube. I now had another income stream and I had complete control over it. So instead of using my platforms to promote other people's products, I started using them to share my message and my products. So I successfully replaced my income by marketing and promoting my own products through well-established platforms and great content. So what you need to know is that never believe that things have to be one certain way or that you can't change course to adjust the strategy to work with what feels. Well, let me say that again. Never believe that things have to be one certain way or that you can't change course to adjust the strategy to work with what feels right and good for you. So when blogging or YouTube wasn't earning me what I wanted, I had to make a new plan. I had to change my schedule. I had to do something new. So you need to listen to your audience to understand what it is that they want. If you can give them what they want, it's the best way to grow your income and your audience at the same time. Adding income streams, especially ones that you control, mean that you earn more. So the money I earned from blogging and YouTube were great, but I was working on commission from advertising in a highly competitive market. So selling my own products exponentially increased my income. So just to give you a little bit of a background, when blogging I was getting money from sponsorships, I was getting a little bit of ad money. YouTube is mostly ad money and from people watching your videos, which is very little. You have to have lots of people watching in order to like make a full-time income from YouTube. And also like a tiny bit of sponsorships there as well and affiliate marketing. And that was making me a certain amount of money that was like, okay, this is good. But I was having a hard time pushing past. And let's be honest, being a YouTuber, being a blogger, it's a very saturated market. There's nothing wrong with being in there. I totally think that you can carve out your own niche. But if you want to get to full-time income, if you want to get to 6, 7, if you want to grow, right? If you want to have this amazing business, it is much harder to reach those thresholds unless you add in new income and revenue streams. So this is what my business looks like today. As of 2021, my business earns a consistent full-time income from no less than 5 streams of income. So I've got my shop where I sell digital products, classes, and courses. I have Amazon KDP, that's Kindle Direct Publishing, which is where my bound books and planners are. YouTube gives me video ad revenue. affiliates like Amazon, Bluehost, Reward Style, Blue Chic, Skim Links. I have a whole bunch of affiliates that I'm part of. That makes me income every month. And then ad hoc design and consulting work. So whenever I get someone who wants me to design something or do something for them, if I have the time availability, I'll take it on. And that's another way that I earn income. So with all of those income streams, I have this full-time, mostly passive income business. Again, like the ad hoc design and consulting work would really be the only thing that's not really like on demand, right? So that's the only thing that's not passive. So here we go when we get to time management here. When I'm not in a launch, okay, I'll give this caveat. I work about 4 hours a day. So I have a following of over 150,000 people between YouTube, my blog, Instagram, and my email list. My business processes an average of 10,000 transactions annually, and it's completely automated. So I'm not getting involved with that. Like usually it's all automated. Everything's going, unless there's like a problem on my back end that I have to go in and fix. But that's not me sending invoices. That's not me asking people for money. Like I don't have to do any of that. It all processes for me while I sleep a lot of the time. I have systems in place for my content marketing that keep my business growing and selling even while I'm asleep. And I spend exactly $0 on ads. I did a few years ago dabble with ads on Facebook, but I didn't like it. It didn't feel right to me. I wasn't liking the results. So I stopped spending money on ads and I just went full force with my content marketing, and my business grows, earns lots of money every month, and I don't have to pay for ads, which is awesome. And one of those things that a lot of people would say that's not possible, but yeah, it is. There's plenty of people who are making 6 figures or more without ads. So in the past 6 years, my business has survived a lot of different milestones, right? It's survived the dreaded 3-month, 1 year, 3 years, and 5-year marks, algorithm changes on all the social platforms and Google. I even took a sabbatical where I took a major step back from my content to rethink my brand and direction like 3 or 4 years ago. My business is still going. And most recently, a global pandemic. Last year in 2020, a lot of people's businesses were closing down. A lot of people had to pivot. I didn't have to do any of that. And actually, I doubled down and my business even grew. So I actually did better in 2020 during the pandemic with a process, with a system that was really helping me to earn consistent income at a time where a lot of businesses were just going under or having to significantly pivot. So what my business looks like from an impact perspective, because this is the thing that I don't think I talk about this enough, but this is like the reason why I do what I do. So I have the pleasure to work with women across the globe who are doing amazing work that the world truly needs. So we're talking about coaches, lawyers, accountants, virtual assistants, planner designers, course creators, bloggers, YouTubers, and more. I feel like a very deep sense of pride and at the same time being very humbled that such amazing and diverse women want to work with me. And it's like I have a hand in even more impact because I'm helping them. You know what I mean? It's like if you help someone else who's helping a whole bunch of other people, it's like I'm indirectly helping so many people. Like this is so amazing. This is what gets me up in the morning to keep doing what I'm doing. And my small strategic actions on a daily basis ripple through the community I've built and echo around the globe. So, every day I'm not someone who, like I say, I only work like 4 hours a day on average when there's nothing like, significant going on in my business, and I really only do a handful of things every day for my business. And that actually has this ripple effect to help women across the globe, inspire women, keep them motivated, teach them things, and with my courses, everything is on demand. And just like getting the messages and getting the DMs, getting the emails and working with people in my mastermind membership, I really see how just a few little things that I do have that payoff, have that impact that really feels good and really gets me up and gets me going in the morning. So what you need to know about all this is that there really is legitimately nothing unique about me and my business, except to say that I was very intentional about creating a structure and systems that worked for me, my strengths and my energy, the way I wanted to work, the things that I was good at. I structured my business around my strengths. So I know that right now, if you feel the pull to the idea of running your own business, you already have exactly what it takes to make it happen. You might just need a little bit of guidance, accountability, and a helping hand to get the details worked out. So, what you need to know here is that your business idea is necessary. So, this is something that I've been talking about. I've been talking about this for a little while. So, you guys may have heard me talk about this before. But I really believe that the popularity of female entrepreneurship is a revolution in the way humanity views work that is necessary right now in the world. So, your business idea is necessary because the rise of female owned brands and businesses is the paradigm shift for a new way of working. The old concept of working 9 to 5 in an office is dying to make way for more flexible work arrangements that lead to happier employees with richer, more fulfilling lives. For a while now, it was actually male entrepreneurship and male-dominated industry that enjoyed this sort of work-life balance and freedom. But now it's time for women to make the shift as well. COVID has actually been helping with this, I think, because in the past, the jobs that were done traditionally by women were jobs that really required them to be in an office. But now we're all working from home, right? So the shift is necessary for greater female equality in the workforce. We know that women make less than men even when they do the same jobs. This happens for a myriad of reasons, but it boils down to men having more respect in the workplace. When you start your own business online and leave your traditional job behind, like what I did, you're going to open a space that needs to be filled by someone, likely another woman. Well, it's my belief that when women make this shift in mass, it will result in an increase in the power dynamic for women who remain in the system. So let's be honest, ladies, if we all left our jobs tomorrow, no women in the workforce, businesses would crumble. Not simply because there'd be like less employees and jobs open, but because there are no women. Women bring a diverse set of skills and experiences to the table that just cannot be replaced, especially in a lot of corporate organizational settings. Women are really, really necessary. For things to work out, for there to be peace in office, really for everyone to be included and make sure that personal growth and everything is happening, women are so necessary. So when we empower ourselves and say, you know what, we're going to take responsibility for our own lives and our own destiny, and we go and make our own business, we leave a job behind that is going to be filled most likely by another woman. And it's going to keep women in power in workplaces more, because it's just going to be seeing like the women that are left are just going to have more power in their organizations. The increase of female entrepreneurs will ultimately lead to a revolution in the dynamic of the capitalist economic system. I feel like I've written this whole PhD program. Like, this is my philosophy, or my I don't know, what do they call it? I don't know, when you go and you do your oh gosh, what do they do when they get PhDs? Can't think. It's not their theories, philosophies, I forget what it's called. Make sure you're drinking something. So we know right now the economy of capitalism is driven by male-dominated companies and brands. Women are notorious for running more heart-centered and generous business models, generous to their employees, to their customers, to their communities, and the environment. Ask yourself, what happens to the capitalist economic model when more women are in charge of businesses? I believe that we'll see a shift in the view of businesses from cold, hard capitalism to an economy of love and generosity. I don't know about you, but that's the world that I want to live in, right? So right now, when we think of capitalism, I think some people think of capitalism as being very bad, but I think that has to do with the male-dominated energy of these businesses, right? But if more women are starting their own businesses, more small businesses are becoming medium-sized, more female-owned businesses are becoming larger and larger. There's only a few female CEOs when we're looking at the Fortune 50, Fortune 100 group, right? There's only a handful of women there, and there's only a handful of people of color, and even less women of color, right? So, this shift of starting our own businesses, empowering ourselves, is going to lead to more women in those places of power, more women running these capitalist businesses. We're going to see a change, I believe, in the way that business actually runs, from being that cold, hard capitalism to a more loving and generous, environmentally friendly capitalism. So, the urge or inkling that you feel to start a brand online is the calling of your soul. So many people sit around wondering what their purpose is, but then totally ignore or suppress the inspiration inside of them to start their own business, do their own thing, create what they wish existed in the world. If no one has ever told you this before, please let me have the honor of explaining this to you. That feeling inside of you is your soul telling you what to do with your life to reach happiness and fulfillment. So, girlfriend, let me tell you, you already know what it is that you need to do. You just need to overcome the fear and get started. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. So, a lot of people come to me and they want to know how to decide what the right business is for them to start. Or maybe you've started a business, right? We talked about the example of the entrepreneurs that kind of flip from business to business to business to business. How do you know what the right business is for you? So you know you want to start a business, but what is that? This is a very simple Venn diagram that includes 3 parts. So first, you need to know what your knowledge, skills, and interests are. So what are the things that you're naturally inclined to? I was naturally inclined to the planner community. I was naturally inclined to productivity. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this anecdote before, but because I read Getting Things Done by David Allen when I was 13. Okay, like that's not normal. So this was clearly something that was a skill point, a knowledge point, an interest point of mine from the time I was a child, right? So that's the first thing you think about is what you're actually drawn to, what you can actually do, and what you are, knowledgeable on, right? What your zone of genius is, some people would say. Then you've got a topic you feel pulled to, right? So for me, it was like I knew that I was interested in productivity. I knew I had design skills, writing skills, photography skills. Everyone has always told me that I'm a natural teacher. So I had this area where I was good. I had these skills already and that I was able to grow and I had this knowledge base. And then I had this topic of planners that I was being pulled towards. And then the third part here is the market for your work, right? Where is it that people are actually spending money? Where is it that what are things that people are buying? What are services that people are hiring out? Like where is there a market for your work? And in that area, that's the sweet spot between all 3 of those points is the business that you need to start. Like that's how you figure this out. So in order to kind of get really clear on what that business plan is going to be, now I want to share with you the 6 pillars of online business. So these are the things that you really need to be thinking about for your business, planning out for your business. And really when you take each of these pillars, build them together, you're essentially building like your personal ideal business plan. So the 6 pillars of online business. In order to start and scale a successful business, you need all 6 of the pillars to form the basis of your business plan. I already said that, Alexis, just repeating myself because I don't read off my slides. These 6 pillars will help you to determine your big picture vision for your business and direction. And these 6 pillars will help you to clearly identify the day-to-day work that you need to focus on to ensure your business grows and earns revenue. And these 6 pillars are the framework of my empire building method that myself and many of my students have used to build their own online business. Pillar number 1 is branding. So branding is the unique identity of your business. Many new business owners make the mistake of choosing generic branding for their business or branding that looks too similar to other businesses, and it means that they don't stand out and grow. So if you think the name of your business or the color scheme, URLs, or social media handles that you use for your business don't matter, you would be surprised to know there are proven strategies for choosing each element of your branding to make it stand out as unique and one of a kind, even in a crowded market. So first, I want to talk to you here about business myth number 1 is that you shouldn't start a business that already exists. A lot of people already say that. I want to start a planner business, Alexis, but there's already so many. It's a crowded market, too much competition, et cetera, et cetera. Well, let's do a little myth busting on this. If your business idea already exists, other businesses doing what you want to do is actually a good sign because it means that there's a market for what you want to offer and you won't have to do the hard work of paving the way for a new concept. I talk about this a lot in terms of, you guys may be familiar that I sell digital planners in terms of like PDF, print on demand. When I started doing that, I certainly wasn't the only person who was doing printables. I had seen a few other people doing it too. But for the most part, it was not something that like people would say, yeah, sell digital planner inserts and people are going to want them and print them off at home. I did a lot of work educating my audience and educating the community. And now you could go to almost any planner shop and I'm sure they have some digital downloads that you can buy, right? In a way, I would say that I definitely did a lot of the hard work of paving the way for that market because it wasn't really a market that was viable before I came in and did all that work. So when you have a business idea where there already are businesses that are very similar, that's a good thing. It means you're not going to have to do the hard work of explaining why people would want the thing because they already know why they want the thing. They already buy it. You just want to now convince them that you have the better one for them, right? That's all you have to do. So in order to succeed, you simply need a strong, unique brand to carve out your niche in the market. And here, I've got a custom affirmation for you if this is something that you struggle with. If you think that you can't start a business because there's already one just like it out there, I want you to repeat to yourself, there is enough business for us all. Okay, so that's your custom affirmation to help you get over that limiting belief because you can start a business that somebody else is doing the same thing. You just have to change your branding. Okay, you just have to change your branding, position yourself a little bit differently in the niche. And voila, you have a successful business. There is enough business for us all. Pillar number 2 is communication. So communication platforms help to spread your messaging and grow a following. So 2 major mistakes I see new business owners make with their online platforms is 1, believing they need to be on all of the platforms in order to grow their audience, and 2, not clearly understanding how to optimize their content for a platform. So when you try to be everywhere with your content and you don't clearly understand how content differs from platform to platform, your messaging gets lost and you waste a lot of time with minimal returns. A business myth number 2 here is that in order to grow a large following, you need to use and post daily to all the major platforms. How many of you guys believe that? Let me know, drop a number 2 in the comments if business myth number 2 is something that you believe, okay, or have believed in the past. In order to grow a large following, you need to use and post daily to all of the major platforms. Let's bust this myth right now. You don't need to use every platform or post daily. Choose the platforms that you like to use and that support your skill set. So writing, photography, speaking, etc. You have a natural skill set already towards most likely one of the social media platforms. So choose that one to work on, right? If it's something that you're interested in, if you really love Instagram, be on Instagram. If you hate YouTube, you don't want to make YouTube videos, don't want to be on video, don't do YouTube, right? So you don't have to do everything. And also, your content does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent and authentic, meaning that you show up on a regular basis and share value from your heart. So I recommend choosing no more than 3 platforms to give your platforms some diversity and to build a complete and effective marketing plan. So you don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to post every day. You choose the schedule, you choose the platform, and as long as you're showing up on that consistent schedule that you've determined, authentically, don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent and authentic, then you are going to have a growing following in no time. So here's an affirmation for anyone who gets caught up in this myth. Oh no, it's the same ones before, I didn't rewrite it. I'm sorry. Let's do it. Okay, communication. Let's rewrite one right now. I'm so sorry. It's not enough business for us all. Okay, hold on. I'm going to come up with one right now on the fly. I choose where I spend my time and it gets to be enough. I choose the platforms. I choose the platforms and content I desire and it gets to be enough. Okay? Darn. I'm so sorry that that's messed up there. No, I'm not going to go and fix it now. Okay. Pillar number 3, community. A community. See, you guys, first of all, let's go back. Hold on for a second. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Things do not have to be perfect. There's a giant glaring error where I pasted one that was already used and I had to come up with a new one. Guess what? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to speak from your heart and be consistent. Okay, so pillar number 3 is community. So a community is a necessary element to increase your know, like, and trust factors. So growing a community online is more than just posting content and responding to comments. It is necessary to know who your ideal customer is and what you can do to help them and add value to their experience with your platform and your products, services, whatever it is that you sell. So business myth number 3, and again, drop me a 3 in the comments if this is you. If you build it, they will come. I've seen a lot of people who think that, right? And I mentioned it a little bit earlier. If you build it, they will come. That's not necessarily a true thing. Just putting content out there does not just get people in sales and everything to automatically show up. So content alone does not build a community. You need to know who your ideal audience or customer is and what pain points of theirs you can speak to and alleviate. When you can narrow your focus to speaking to a very specific person, you will attract an audience filled with people that fit your mold. I can't counsel my students not to make the mistake of thinking that anyone can be their ideal customer, because speaking to everyone means that you're speaking to no one. And here's an affirmation for you. I updated this one. I am an energetic match for my ideal customers. I am an energetic match for my ideal customers. Because when you know exactly who your ideal customer is, and you know that there's someone who wants and needs your product, you're going to start building a following filled with those people. They're going to be interacting with each other. They're going to be interacting with you. They're going to be buying your products. They're going to be spreading the news about how awesome your products and your brand and your services are. I am an energetic match for my ideal customers. Okay, now, pillar number 4 is marketing. And I've brought back this, I love this marketing graphic. Okay, so a lot of people have a complicated thought of what marketing is. This is what marketing is. I want you to imagine a hill, okay, or a mountain, whatever you want to say. It's just a hill, okay? On one side of that hill are your products and or your services. On the other side of that hill are the customers who need what you want to sell, so your ideal customers. Now, right now, there's a hill. We can't see each other. We can't talk to each other. Marketing is doing the work of attracting those potential customers to come over the hill and inform them of what you have. So I know a lot of people get very up in arms about selling and feeling like they don't want to be salesy. I too have this, where I feel like I never want to be salesy. And a lot of people have said, Alexis, I like the way you sell because it's not salesy. Because for me, selling is just going out, finding the customers that are my ideal audience, right? People who are my ideal audience, and saying to them, because I know they want what I have. Hey, you, I see you. And I know what you're going through. And I have something to help you fix that. Are you interested? That's it. Like that right there in a nutshell is what Alexis's sales philosophy is. So that is all marketing is. It's doing a certain set of activities, putting systems in place for speaking to your ideal customer and telling them what it is that you have to sell that they might be interested in. Now, business myth number 4, drop me a 4 in the comments if this is yours. You have to be tech savvy to do digital marketing. I know so many people believe that you need to be like a coder. You need to know how to do all of these things. You already have to have this skill set, right, in order to do digital marketing. Let's bust this myth. So a lot of people think that they're not tech savvy enough for digital marketing. No business owner starts out already knowing how to do everything for their business. And if you're watching this class, you know enough about technology to set up a website or an online shop to create content marketing and engage with a community on social media. Because let me tell you, all the information is out there. You knew how to follow directions to get to this class. You can follow directions to build a website. All the technology for digital marketing nowadays is plug and play. Like I said, 2008, blogging was different. Having a website was totally different. 2021, everything is plug and play. There are tons of videos and written tutorials for every element of running your business. You just have to know what you need to do. You're just like, okay, I need to make a business website. How do I do it? Find a tutorial. Like it really is. And you can buy all of the elements. You don't have to go out and spend $5,000, $10,000 for, a designer to code you a custom website. It's totally unnecessary now. So I use and I recommend many easy resources and tutorials to learn how to do nearly every aspect of digital marketing. Like I said, I did not have a marketing background. I did not know this stuff when I came into it. I was a little bit more tech savvy than the average girl for sure, but I had to teach myself how to code a website, put the pieces together. Literally, if you can follow a recipe, you can build a website. Like it really isn't that difficult. Here's your affirmation if this is your myth. Technology is not a barrier to my success. It is a tool for my success. And that really is very much so true. It's not even funny because of how amazing and advanced technology has gotten. It is just so easy now to do all of these things. They're automated, they're plug and play, there's directions. Sure, you could hire someone if you want to, but why would you need to? You'll save so much more money. And sometimes, a lot of times, even a little bit of time to just do it yourself. Sometimes it's easier to do it yourself than explain to somebody else what you want. So just saying, Technology is not a barrier to my success. It's the tool for my success. Pillar number 5 is income. So you need to have something that you sell, right, in order to earn an income online. And the more income streams that you can add, the more income you will earn. And I already kind of showed you all my income streams, right, and the variety of ways I earn money. This doesn't mean that you have to have a product per se. There are many different revenue sources and business models to choose from. So business myth number 5 is that online business isn't a stable way to earn money. If you believe that, sure. For many people who aren't prepared, online business can be unstable, but so can working a 9-to-5 job. Hello, COVID, right? So like a lot of us lost jobs that we thought were stable and things like that. Not the point of COVID, but one of the lessons of COVID is that you really don't have control over as much as you think you do. So, that's an excellent example of how no income is truly stable. If you use and build solid marketing systems, however, you can absolutely earn steady income via an online business the way that I do. Adding multiple streams of income protects you if one of your sources of revenue slows or dies out. So COVID was a great example of a situation where some businesses could not operate the same as before. So many of them pivoted or added new streams of revenue to survive. You want to hear a really funny example of this? I just became aware of this. I didn't even realize this was a thing. But do you guys remember, like, movie theaters have opened up, like where I am, but for a long time they were closed. Like in the beginning of 2020, they were closed. You couldn't go to a movie theater and see a movie. Well, I didn't know this, but apparently lots of movie theaters were, in order to survive, they were like on Uber Eats and you could Uber Eats yourself popcorn from like AMC. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could just have like movie theater popcorn or movie theater snacks delivered to you, right? That wasn't the business model that the theaters thought they were going to operate under, obviously. It wasn't like their ideal, but they made it work via COVID, during COVID and, kept themselves alive as much as possible, right? So I think that's an interesting example of how like sometimes you just add in a new stream of income to survive, right? And that's one of the amazing things about running your own business. You have the power to do that. You have the power to add or remove a business model of revenue stream whenever you want. So I teach my students to vary their income streams and integrate passive income streams in their businesses in order to increase and protect their income, right? So if you have a lot of, these buffer sorts of income streams where I make a little bit from here and a little bit from here and a little bit from here, all those added up, if one of my bigger streams took a hit or something for whatever reason, I at least have cushioning so that like my business isn't over. You know what I mean? Like I have enough money to live and survive, and make it through to see another day sort of a thing. So if this is your myth, okay, there are endless ways to earn consistent income online. That is your affirmation. There are endless ways to earn consistent income online. 6th and final pillar, okay? Business administration. Business administration is the process of formally organizing and running the day-to-day of your business. So 2 major mistakes. Oh no. I don't know what happened. Oh, I know what I did wrong. You guys, okay. I know what happened, you guys. I know what I did. I had duplicates of slides and I think I deleted the wrong ones out of the thing. Okay, Alexis is going to rewrite this right now, okay? Business administration is the process of formally organizing and running the day-to-day of your business. Okay, so remember we said before that the CEO is part of being a CEO is having the big picture vision and setting goals. You want to set goals to break those down into the manageable day-to-day of your operations, right? And there's a lot that goes into that, from financial goal setting to just getting yourself set up legally, trademarking your business, right? There's a lot of little things. And a big part of that a lot of people often get tripped up with is the idea of needing a team. So the team aspect is myth number 6, which is that you need to hire a team if you want to run a successful business. So should I hire help for my business? A lot of times when people are talking about business administration, this is the issue that they're coming up with. In the startup phase of a business, it's important to bootstrap and save as much money as possible. Many businesses fail because they make bad financial decisions during the critical startup phase. If you need help or direction with your business, your best bet is to invest in yourself and your resources that can help you get your business off the ground and solidly earning revenue. There are many resources like my empire building program that can save you money by helping you figure out how to run your business efficiently. So getting that system in place that you know works, that then you can hire people to help you kind of like move the needle and push more effort through that system to get better and better results. So I recommend learning how to run your business as you like it on your own and ensuring what you're doing is working and systematized before you start hiring help. The affirmation for this, if you're alone or if you have a team, is I am fully supported, guided, and loved on my path. So remember, you guys, I'm still a solo entrepreneur. I have had VAs in the past. I have worked with, contract employees on a minimal basis, but for the most part, I do and run everything in my business. So you don't need to have a team, and you really shouldn't have a team when you're getting started before you figure out what the system is that you need to have in place. So, what do you think? Are you ready to take control of your life and start spending more time on what matters? Why did you show up today? I would like to know. Maybe you seriously or even desperately want to start an online business. The idea of flexible work hours and unlimited earning potential could give you the ability to take care of your family, raise your children, and live or work anywhere. Maybe you love social media and you've spent time, energy, and money growing an amateur following, but you want in on the income that you already are so close to reaching. So with just a few tweaks, you can turn your platforms into income generators for extra income as a student, retiree, stay-at-home mom, or even a career girl who just wants some extra spending cash. Maybe you have a business that isn't as profitable as you'd like it. You're nearly ready to give up, but you want to give it one more chance by implementing some tried and true strategies. Or your business is working, but your sales just aren't where you want them to be yet, and optimizing your social marketing with your existing products could be the jolt of new capital that you need. So if you feel aligned with me and my teachings, if you like what I do and how I do it, I would love to work with you to take your business to the next level. So I would like to invite you to join me if you have a passion that you want to turn into an easy, profitable online business. Know that you are just weeks away from getting your brand online, your content planned, your community growing, and income flowing. So does any of this sound familiar? We kind of already went through these in the beginning, but you've been thinking about and planning out your dream business for a while now, and you've not taken any significant action to make it a reality. You see and follow lots of other online businesses and often think to yourself, I could do that and I'll start a business someday, but the days pass with little to show for your daydreaming. I know some of you have tried to take action in the past and become overwhelmed with all the pieces that go into starting and running a business, giving up before you truly got your idea off of the ground. And there are even a few of you who have started, who have been trying for several years. Several iterations of your dream business have come and gone, and you just can't get anything moving in the right direction. I get it. There is a lot of information out there on how to start a business, what tools to use, what type of content you need to create, how exactly you should sell, and it's completely overwhelming. So let me help simplify it all for you so you can create an intentional and sustainable online business. If you struggle to answer any of these common business conundrums, Empire Building is the right program for you. So what the heck is a brand? How do I know what to name my business? What do I decide on my brand elements? How do I decide on my brand elements? And does what I choose really matter? Does my business need to be my name or something else? What should my online platforms be? Do I need a blog? Should I have a YouTube channel? How the heck do I even use Instagram? Do I have to use everything at once? And how often do I need to post? How do I start growing a community online when I'm starting from zero? What content do I need to post to attract my ideal customers? What is the secret to growing and building an awesome, engaged fan base online? I have no clue how to sell and I'm afraid of coming off too salesy. How do I promote my products or services online the right way so that people see it and want to buy? How do I know if my audience even wants what I'm selling? What is market research and how is it done? How do I even start making money online? What does it mean to have multiple streams of income? What is the whole passive income thing anyway, Alexis? How do I make money if all I have is a blog and I don't sell my own products or services? How do I properly form a business? How do I set business goals when I'm just starting out and I have no clue what to expect? Am I supposed to do everything myself or hire a VA or a team? What are all the little systems that I need to be aware of to ensure my business is running properly? What if you could design the business that worked for you, played to your strengths, skills, and interests, and most of all, just felt easy, fun, and fulfilling? My philosophy is this: business does not need to be hard, but by all means, we humans can make it hard if we want to. Since going full time for my business in 2014, I have chosen to let it be easy, let it be fun, and not to overcomplicate it. You can do it too. Let me show you how to create an easy, streamlined business with an ever-growing community of awesome fans ready and willing to purchase your products and services. So I would like to formally introduce you to the Empire Building 6-Week Business Accelerator. So I've been running and selling empire building since 2015, helping hundreds of awesome female entrepreneurs figure out their passion and develop an easy business plan online. Now I'm hosting a course as a live 6-week training and group coaching experience that you do not want to miss. So here's what you'll get in the Business Accelerator. You're going to get access to the complete empire building online business program. So that's 6 video modules covering branding, communication, community building, advertising, which is marketing, income streams, and business administration. You're also going to get 3 live classes during our 6-week session. So these are 3 new classes that I'm adding to Empire Building. The first is the CEO Strategy Masterclass, where we're going to get into the business planning, right? How we identify those big picture business vision and break it down to the everyday, day-to-day steps. And that masterclass is scheduled for 4/14 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The next class is the CEO Mindset Mastery class, which is scheduled for April 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And the third class is Killer Content Masterclass. So in the CEO Mindset Mastery, hopefully that probably is fairly self-explanatory, but it's the necessary mindset work that you need to do on a regular basis to ensure that you're aligning with what it is that you want for your vision and staying on track and really infusing your business and your ideas with the energy of growing and building your business. And the Killer Content Masterclass is May 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. These are all Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern. And Killer Content is all about building out your editorial calendar. So we're literally going to have like a content development session where I'm going to explain to you everything you need to know to create great content titles, to fill up your editorial calendar, and how you differentiate content, how you can make a year's worth of content like in just one sitting, and just like build out your editorial calendar so your marketing is like totally automated. You also get the workbooks and transcripts for each of the 6 video modules, plus homework, FAQ, and resources in each of the modules. You'll get 6 weeks of group coaching with me via the private Slack channel that I have that starts Thursday, April 1st, and lifetime access to Empire Building plus a year of email support from me. So once you have Empire Building, you have it for life, like as long as it doesn't change or go away, you have it, and you get an email, you get a year of support from me. If you're having any issues, you can always reach out to me in email, but we have the 6 weeks to really take your business from wherever it is right now, 0, maybe you've already got something started, and we can work out what those issues are so that you're overcoming those issues to really jumpstart your business success in the next 6 weeks so that you can have a fabulous 2021 with your business. So I am just going to briefly skim over these things because you can read all about this on the sales page. But module number 1 is about branding. It's creating a cohesive brand to attract your ideal audience and to stand out from the crowd. You can see here the results that you get from that module are that you choosing the right business name, secure your brand and business digital properties, design your brand color scheme, logo, and essential branding elements. And I have all the resources to help you do that. So you're doing it strategically. Module 2 is communication. You're going to choose exactly which platforms to use and how to use each strategically. The results you get there are to select the right communication platforms for your business. Learn how to use them to increase SEO of your content and platforms. SEO stands for search engine optimization, and develop the best content ideas to attract your ideal customer. Module 3 is about community, creating the community around your brand that effectively turns your fans into paying customers. We're going to define and identify who your ideal customer is, craft your business messaging to strategically target those ideal customers, and you're going to learn how to transfer your fans into super fans. Marketing is module number 4. how you spread the word about your brand and business through low or no cost marketing that you can do yourself. Like I said, I spent zero on ads. So in this module, you're going to create web ads for your content, brand, and products, perform market research to better understand the products and services your audience needs, and develop a marketing calendar to use for content marketing to grow your influence and brand while effectively selling at the same time. Module 5 is all about your income streams. You're going to develop products and or service-based products based on your business goals and diversify your income streams to increase your profits. So we're going to identify and develop the business model for your business to start earning income online, add different income streams to your business, including passive income streams to increase your profits. And you're going to develop effective plans and projects to grow your business strategically over time. And then finally, business administration. You're going to learn the essential processes of building, organizing, running, and legitimate and successful online business. So key results here. Set business goals and create plans to achieve them. Manage business finances to clearly understand your business income and expenses, and create systems for your business to help you save time and to properly manage your team in the future. So with this offer, I have 2 fast action bonuses. So here it says, fortune favors the bold. When you enroll in this empire building round of Business Accelerator in the first 48 hours, you get 2 valuable bonuses. Number 1 is a $111 instant discount. So if you enroll by Monday, March 22nd at 11:59, a little bit more than 48 hours from now, you will receive $111 off automatically applied to your cart at checkout. You also will get a free photography course. So the second fast action bonus when you enroll by Monday night is you will receive my styled stock photography course called the Digital Styling Lightroom. That's absolutely free. So there's nothing you need to do for this. I will just update your permissions when you register for the course so that you automatically have this very valuable course as well. It's $197 value. I also put together over $1,500 worth of bonuses. And there's some new bonuses in here that I've never given before. So in addition to the fast action bonuses, you will also receive instant access to the following bonuses as part of your enrollment package. So you've got 3 bonus masterclasses. So the blogging masterclass, planning for a successful holiday promotion and New Year business planning session. You're also going to get actually your own copy of my CEO strategy planner. That is a digital planner. It is my best-selling business planning tool, the CEO Strategy Planner, designed to help you create your ideal creative business plan and break your annual goals into manageable daily actions. $75 value. And you're also going to get guided journaling workbooks. So for each of the 6 modules of empire building, I've developed a dedicated set of guided journaling prompts and affirmations intended to help you get in touch with your true desires and vision for your business, a $294 value. Now, is this the right opportunity for you or is it not? So this is for you if you really feel a call to create a business online, but you have no idea how to get started. You would love all the options laid out in front of you with clear expectations of what goes along with each and what you need to do to make your business dream a reality. This is for you if you're willing to learn and show up and do the work that needs to be done so you can live a life of time, location, and financial freedom that running an online business can provide you with. And this is for you if you are a problem solver. You're no quitter, and you know that with the right information and strategy in your hands, you can make your business goals a reality. This is not for you if you run a physical in-person business and are not interested in marketing that business online. It's not for you if you believe you already know everything about digital marketing, how this all works, and are hoping there is some secret to success that you've just missed. Newsflash, there's no secret. You either know the information, have integrated it, and are using it to take aligned action for your business, or you are not. And this is not for you if you just want someone to wave a magic wand and give you a ready-made business. Purchasing an online business course does not instantly make a business appear in your life. I wish it did because I'd be charging a heck of a lot more for that. So hold on, you guys. Someone just knocked on my door. I'm just going to shut. Someone knocked on the door and the dogs are freaking out. Okay. So this is empire building is for you if left side applies. It's not for you if the right side applies. I'm sorry. Okay. So what is the investment? All in, the complete value of the course, coaching, and bonuses are $2,997, but I truly feel called to make this an opportunity accessible to an amazing group of women who are willing to work on their dream if given the chance. So I'm offering this experience at an over 80% discount. Join now for one easy payment of $444. I do not want you to miss out on this experience. So don't miss the opportunity to build your business alongside me for this 6-week live class. 6 weeks of live business coaching, a lifetime access to empire building, and all those bonuses sounds like a very wise business decision to me. So enroll now. The link is in the description. So how to check out if you're ready to enroll. The link in the description will take you to a sales page where you'll see all of this information that we just covered, plus more FAQ and testimonials. On that page, you can hit any Enroll Now button to view the listing for the course in my shop. Add to cart, and the instant $111 discount will be applied automatically if you check out by 3/22/21. You can check out on my shop via PayPal or credit card, which is processed through an app called Stripe. And after the payment is processed, you will be redirected back to the shop where you should see on the page a link for downloading your welcome letter. So if you miss the redirect back to the shop, don't worry. You will be emailed a receipt or invoice for your purchase. And inside the body of that email is a link to download the welcome letter. The welcome letter PDF includes a link to register for the course website and a link to access the private Slack channel where we'll be holding the group coaching element of the program. If you have any issues or questions, you can email me via alexis@strangecharm.com. And now we'll go ahead and open up the floor to a Q&A. You can ask me anything CEO strategy, business, and empire building related. Now, I know that there's a little bit of a delay here, so I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can calm them down really quickly, and you guys can leave your comments, and I will be right back in a jiffy. Okie dokie, I am back. It was just an Amazon delivery, which I knew that was coming, and I was hoping he wasn't going to knock on the door, but he did. Okay, so let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and, wait, where am I? No, close this. No. Okay. Voila, now I'm back. Oh, now I feel like I need to drink like an entire thing of water. Oh, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and open the comments. Okay. Okay. I'm going to try to go back and see. Let me try to calm them down a little. Okay. So, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and see what the comment means. Okay. Okay, it looks like there's a lot of talking. I'm just going to see if there's a comment. Yeah, so what Kelly said here is, ahead of your comments, please type questions so that it jumps out at me from general clatter. Yes. Okay, so Edie says, what social media platforms are there? Does email count? So email is a platform. It's not a social platform, but it is one of the platforms that is in there. So yes, email does count as a platform. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. I love the model of imperfect action with the dogs and the earlier affirmations. I struggle with perfectionism and it gets me stuck. So that is truly helpful. Yes, absolutely. I think a lot of people think that you need to be perfect. You need to be showing up perfectly. Everything needs to be like properly curated. And maybe there was a time where that was like maybe more helpful. But I think that especially now with the way social media is, people just want to see like what is authentic. Like I want you to know, I guess, even though obviously it wasn't great that like some of my slides got messed up, I do know what happened though. When I was working on this slideshow, I was getting a little tired and I had duplicates of slides and I didn't know why. Because one of them got filled in and a different one didn't, and I deleted it thinking that it was the one that was wrong. So Carol's actually on today. She knows that I've been having some issues when I read emails without my glasses on. So obviously I did not see that I had the wrong slide deleted. But this is a great example for anyone out there that, hello, I run a full-time passive income business. I'm doing very well for myself and I am not perfect. Like my slideshow has errors in it. My dog barks and you can't stop that. What are you going to do? Like you can't stop them from barking. So that is the reality of being an entrepreneur, right? It's not always curated. I do try to do my best to make sure that emails are proofread and, pictures and videos are properly edited. So like any errors are taken out. But realistically, when you have identified who your ideal audience is, not people in general, your ideal audience, when you know who they are and you know what you have to say to them, they're not really going to care how perfect it is. Now, will there be some people? Oh, I'm sure. But it's okay for me if those people walk away. Like if you don't want to buy Empire Building today because my dog was barking, there's not much I can do for you. You know what I mean? Like that's your own like limiting belief. So that is, there really is no perfect anyway. And we talk about this a lot, is that perfect does not exist, et cetera, et cetera. What's perfect for one person may not be perfect for another. Okay, how does this work for people who have empire building from before? So I sent you guys an email if you were in the earlier business accelerator that if you wanted to join me for this one, send me an email and I have a different price for you guys. You obviously don't have to pay the full thing. Yes, thank you. The imperfections feed my imposter syndrome. Yes. And actually the imposter syndrome, I guess I should say too, that's one of the reasons why I like to let people know that I don't come from a marketing background, right? I did work in Fortune 50 sales and marketing. Like I did have a marketing based job, but corporate marketing was totally different. Like I definitely learned things that I apply to my business now, but it's not like I went to school for this, right? Like a lot of people who are online business owners did not go to school for what they do. Like I'm not a designer either. Like I did not go to design school. And yet many of you here on this call use and love my inserts. Does that mean that my inserts aren't worthy because I don't have a degree in design? Like really? See, degrees only work when you're trying to hire someone, being hired by someone else. When you're doing your own thing, as long as you know what you're doing and you can back it up and you can provide value, that's all that matters, right? Especially, that's a very vague statement because I know that there are regulated industries where if you run your own business, so that's the only caveat, right? So if you're like, I don't know, a lawyer, it's probably, you're running your own practice. You are regulated industry, I'm sure. Estheticians, hairdressers, things like that, a little bit more regulated. But when you're running your own business, you get to be, as long as you know what you're doing and you can put your money where your mouth is, that's all that matters. Okay. So we're doing really good on time. On the Venn diagram, what was item 2 for the slide about knowing the right business? So one of them was your skills and interests, your skills, knowledge, and interests. So the things you already are skilled at, things you are already knowledgeable about, the things that you're interested in. And then the second one was it was a topic you feel pulled to. So it's a topic that you feel pulled to. And then the final one was a market for your work. I'm just going here through my notes so I don't have to pull it back up. Yeah. Oh, is it not in here? It was a graphic, so maybe it didn't show up in my slides. So yeah, that's what number 2 was. Topic you feel pulled towards. So this is, how would this work for a person starting a VA business? I've worked with a lot of VAs before, actually, in empire building. But essentially, if you're a VA, right, you are looking for people to hire you, right? So you're looking for customers. So if you were out there, I'll give you an example. I can think of one person right now who has like a really good business going on with being a VA. I don't think she has other people working for her, but she hires herself out. And what she does, I think she does like short-term contracts maybe with other entrepreneurs to do work for them. And she runs a blog where she talks about what you need VAs for, what the time, savings can be, what she can do for you, things like that. So that is all digital marketing. Like if you run a business, no matter what your business is online, or if you run a business in person where you want to promote yourself online, you want to do content marketing online, then you need to have platform. You need to have a brand, what you're all about. You need to have the right platforms where you're going to be creating content to attract people. You need to know who your ideal customer is and grow that community so you always have new people to pull from. If you're a VA, obviously you need to do marketing, like I said, to get your word out there, to meet the people that need you, and to make those connections. You can also obviously increase, and I tell you this for everybody, is to use alternate income streams. So you can be adding passive income in there. You can be doing other things that will help you raise your income. So is anyone going to say no to like extra passive income? I don't think so. So a VA could do a lot of different things, like writing a workbook, guidebook, something like that they could put out, checklists. They could design, I guess, even like planner inserts if they wanted to. Of course, these are just some examples. And obviously they have a business to run, their own business that they have to do a business administration for. So all of this applies to a VA as well. Any business that you're running, this can apply to. Okay, Teresa. I'm just looking to see. Okay, I answered. That was the question I answered. I'm sorry. Got it. You guys were chatting it up in there, so I was not. Okay. Oh, this is good here. Yemena says, Gabby Bernstein says, instead of calling it selling, we can think about it as sharing what you do. That has been, didn't know that Gabby Bernstein did that, but I've been saying this from the beginning, that selling is sharing. I think it's actually in empire building, like that line. Selling is just sharing what it is that you're doing. You don't have to come hard with like hard sales pitches. I find that like that stuff doesn't really work so much. It's a little bit more of like maybe getting a little questionable and maybe like, what was I gonna say? Not cohesive. It's coercive maybe when you put on like hard pressure. But inside empire building, I actually go through a lot of the psychological process that works with selling so that you know the kind of things that you need to say in order to indicate to people that you have something to sell to them. So we do talk about like those psychological parts of selling, right? Because sales has a psychology, right? So I think a lot of people know that. So we talk about sales psychology in empire building. And if you guys would like, I was also thinking, okay. So Nikki says, will the live classes be available as replays? We can't make them. Yes, you absolutely can. Everything, all of the things that I create this round, if you guys remember, I launched the Business Accelerator in September of last year. And what we did was we went through and I completely redid empire building. Like I completely re-upped the classes, the modules, and I rebuilt everything. And now, because I already have those things built out and they're all fresh, I want to add 3 more classes to Empire Building. So yes, they are going to be replays for anyone who cannot make it to a live event. You absolutely will have access to the replay. And within the 6-week business accelerator, you're going to be able to talk to me and ask me whatever you want. You're like, oh, I watched the replay of this. I have a question about this and that. But if you are with me live, one of the benefits is you can ask me questions live and we'll actually be able to talk, and it'll just add more content to that class, which is awesome. So yes, you absolutely are going to have the replays. Okay, so Deepika says, question, I started following you in 2017. It's a great way of planning and worked for me initially. However, there's so many other factors that come in the way. I struggle to compete with my time. So I think what exactly is your question here? So yes, as a business owner, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to compete with your time. And that's where my CEO strategy comes in. That's why it's going to be the first class that we do, is actually defining our goals and identifying what the things are that we need to do on a regular basis to move our business forward and kind of create those basic systems where we know that when we do A and B and C in a system, it's going to result in something for us, right? So we always know our effort is going to amount to something. So for me personally, like, I only really take a handful of actions every day for my business. This is why I really only usually work an average of like 4 hours a day, right? So I do a few different things. I do things very leisurely. I just am very chill. Like, obviously, maybe I was too chill. I deleted the wrong slides in today's class, but it is what it is. And it doesn't mean that like my business is going to fail. Like we already talked about, people like are appreciating the, imperfectness of it. But, yeah, so there's always going to be competing priorities. And this is why we want to get very clear on what our business vision is and the goal, because I find that what ends up happening is without any sort of structure, right? When you take away this 6-pillar methodology, which was literally the way that I built my business, like for years and years and years, I tinkered. And then I realized all these pieces that I had to have that came together. So I now realize all the things I did that were a waste of my time, all the times where I should have been putting my effort here instead of there. So that's why I came up with this 6-pillar framework, right? So I know that these are the areas that you need to have built out for your business. Once you have these things and you start testing the systems, you'll be able to find the system quicker that you're going to use, and you're going to execute on it. And like I said, talking about saving yourself time and competing priorities and things like that, when you are doing things that you're already knowledgeable on, already skilled on, right? And by no means will everything you do in your business always be something you already know how to do. There's going to be a lot of growth. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to need to Google, or in case of people in Empire Building, right? I'm going to give you a lot of different resources that I recommend for building your business website and just building your shop out, and different plugins. And I even give you, we should go into the, do you guys want to go into Empire Building? I was thinking that might be fun to go in, and I could show you exactly what it kind of looks like in the back end. But where was I going with that? When you have, number one, that sort of help, and when you know what you're working on so that you've chosen a business path that works for you, it ends up being much quicker and easier. Like, my business is filled with activities that I'm really good at. Like, I'm a very strong writer. I think a lot of you would say that. I think actually my best superpower is teaching. Like, I think that I do a really good job teaching, which is why I like to go live. So I've created a business where basically I teach live, I write things like blog posts, emails, and that is the main way in which I sell and grow my community. So when you are playing to your own strengths, yes, we're always going to have competing priorities. But when you get crystal clear on what you want and you're playing with your strengths, you're going to be able to move through things much quicker. Hope that makes sense. So let me go ahead and see. Okay. Okay, so here, you followed up a little bit. Well, I have not lost that looking at the empire building in the back end, but I want to make sure I'm getting to everyone's questions. So she says, I finally took the step and started paperwork for my business. It's been a whole month and the auditor has been taking his own time going forward. I have projects waiting, but I can't go ahead. So I would bet that, yes, maybe you, with your situation, with what your business is, you have to, it sounds like you have to wait for someone maybe to an auditor. I would have to know a little bit more about what your business is, exactly what this person is holding up. But sure, sometimes there are registrations you have to do for a business, and things where you can't really do business, your actual business, until all the I's have been dotted and the T's have been crossed, right? But there are certain things that you're going to be able to do that it doesn't matter what the heck anyone else is doing. There's other marketing things that you can control. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for someone to give you the go ahead that you can start practicing maybe your business legally, I'm not exactly sure, again, the situation. I'm just trying to extrapolate in my head. But there are branding things you could be doing. There's content that you could be putting out, marketing yourself, getting everyone ready for you to launch this business. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead real quick and I'm going to go ahead and log into my back end of Empire Building and we'll share the screen when I get in there. Okay. So okay. Let me see. Should I make this smaller? I'm gonna leave it. It's full size. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go. Oh. Sorry, I just need to find my picture-in-picture option. Oh, here's. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna show Safari. Okay. Okay, so I think you guys can see that. So right here, this is inside the back end of Empire Building. Here's the Empire Building and DSLR both in here. So you can see here, I've got an Empire Building and then there's a welcome, getting started. There's the business accelerators group coaching that takes us over to the Slack. And then we have the modules and the upgrades. So right now we're in module number 1, and this is what I redid. I redid this, I rebuilt this out. So you have the actual video lecture, then we have the workbook that is associated with it, and then you have resources and links underneath of it. Sorry, I have to move this around because I've got stuff on my screen. So there's resources and links for trademarking, color palette generators, style guides, finding a freelance designer, examples of photography styles, fonts, how to brand yourself as an expert, branding ideas for small business, deciding what business to start, affordable photography presets, and then just like more things here. Just like if you have questions, leave me a comment down in the comments. I'll leave that go. Go to module 2. So once you do that, you move on to module 2. And again, it's all the same framework, but this is like a guided tour of the back end of Empire Building. So there's module 2, the workbook, resources and links, and all these just open up, right? So, you can see like here, miscellaneous resources, the journal is in there, and the keyword planner generating tool is in there. And then you can go to module 3. Again, the video here, the workbook, resources and links. This just gives you an idea of like what the back end looks like, that I have completely rebuilt this and I redid all the modules. So everything looks even slicker. What happens when we do that? Oh, there's module 4, marketing. That's the workbook for it. And module 5. And again, it's all pretty streamlined. It looks pretty good. I'm very proud of myself. I built this out myself and it did not take me very long at all. I think other than like redoing the classes, which I did live and recorded them and then edited them and uploaded them, these pages were actually plug and play templates that I talk about in the actual Empire Building program. So I have, it's much easier to do. And then here's my upgrades. So we have the blogging masterclass. Let me get out of here. Blogging masterclass. Oh shoot, I'm just like blocking myself off here. Masterclass, downloads, planning for a successful holiday promotion, New Year business planning, and how to use Instagram to promote your business. And then of course we're adding 3 more. So you guys are gonna get 3 live sessions with me. Okay. So that is the back end of empire building. What do you think? Okay, does anyone else have any more questions? Okay, yeah. So you're interior designer and you have to set up contracts with clients before you start, which makes sense. And you have to be incorporated as a firm before you can get the legal documents rolling with clients. Awesome. I get that. So right now it's like there are other things that you could be doing to market yourself, right? You could be growing a following. You could be growing your social media. You could be growing your email list. And what'll happen is once you have everything good to go, you let people know, hey, we're in business and these are our services. Come, first serve. You know what I mean? So yes, it's absolutely frustrating when you have to wait on other people, right? And this is one of the, few examples of, people that would be in empire building that would have to really have to wait for other like governmental processes and local processes to make sure their business is properly registered so they can actually do business. But that doesn't mean that you can't be building out the systems for yourself to help you get organized, setting your goals. It doesn't mean you can't be promoting your business before you actually start selling, right? So one of the situations that many people who join empire building are already in is that they've already started doing some marketing for themselves and some branding, but they have not integrated income streams yet, right? So they've just been using, YouTube and building, following on YouTube, but they haven't been utilizing that to help them earn real income. And that's where empire building and the principles can really help you to really connect the dots between everything that you're doing, right? From your branding efforts, your messaging, your posting, your community building, actually doing formal marketing to get people to actually buy, because there is a difference between normal content and content marketing, right? So I can think that all content is a way to market yourself, but there are specific things that you will do. I should have showed you that here. One of the things that I've added to empire building that can be so helpful is sales funnels and email sequences. So I get a lot of questions about that. This is in module 5. So I have actually provided you guys with sales page examples, my welcome sequence for my email, basic sales sequences that I use, and my infinity funnel, which is a concept that I've used to essentially just put my email marketing on automation. So, you're not looking at this. I'm sorry. My bad. So the sales funnels and email sequences. So I give you guys all of these examples as well. So you actually have examples to pull from when creating your own. So there's a lot of new resources that have been added to empire building that really make it just very helpful for anything that you need to do. My heart behind empire building is that I wanted other people who were in a situation like I was in to have the knowledge and resources they need to build their business themselves. Like I did so much of my business myself. Like it's such a small amount that I ever had help with, that I really got my hands dirty and started doing the work and learned how to do everything. And through that process, I saved myself an immense amount of money. I never had like financial issues with my business because it was all upside for me when I was doing it myself. Did it mean that because I wasn't hiring it out, I was doing things a little slower? Yeah, but slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady also builds you a very intentional business that lasts through things like a global pandemic. So, yes. Yes. Okay, so You guys, we're almost at 2 hours. I was hoping this would just be 2 hours. Does anyone have any questions before we go and say our goodbyes? If you have a question, put the word question first. That would be very helpful. There's still so many of you on live with me right now. So thank you guys so much for spending your day with me. And I cannot wait to get started with these new classes, because these are things that I wanted to do for a while. And they're things that I actually, for a while, I was thinking about just making them their own classes. Separate classes. But I thought, you know what, let me add them to empire building, because they really help. I really think anything I can do to make empire building a resource that really speaks to like all of the challenges and struggles of running a business and really helps people to empower themselves and do it on their own, is really what empire building is all about. Okay. I'm gonna wait like one more minute because I know we have like a delay. Oof, I'm getting super hot. Is anyone else, like, the weather has gotten so hot? It's spring tomorrow, right? Today is the first day of Aries season. Tomorrow is the equinox, I guess, tonight or tomorrow. Okay. Brandy says, what would you suggest for someone who has done the back work, branding, email automation, but needs to grow those things? So the first thing I would say is, you've done that stuff. Do you have systems in place where you know that you put in the effort and it's getting you what you want? Because this is one of the very common problems, is that people go ahead and do it themselves, and they start their business, they set up their branding, they have their platforms picked out, they think they know the content and the things that they need to do, but they're not growing. So Brandy, if your business is all set up and it's growing, then that's awesome, right? But you're saying you need to grow those things. I'm saying, so I'm just trying to like extrapolate in my head what you mean. So if you're not growing and you have all of those things, it's that you haven't found the system that actually works for you. That's what I would say. Like, if you're not seeing impact, like if you're not getting sales when you send out an email, if you're not growing with each piece of content that you put out, and not saying that you should like grow immensely with each piece of content, but if your numbers aren't increasingly growing, then that's what I would say. So you may have to relook at something. There must be something in there that's not working. The system isn't actually flowing right. And so what I'd say to Brandy as well is, you may be noticing, if things aren't growing, that you're putting in effort and you're not getting results. It's because the system itself doesn't work. Question, does your course work well for Canadians? Yeah, absolutely. I've had many Canadians in my course. Absolutely. Yeah, as long as you can speak English. And if you're watching this, you know English, right? So all of my stuff is in English. So I've also had people across the world. I've had Australians, people in Europe, Germany, Great Britain, people in South America as well. So I've had people from all over the world in empire building. Okay, so Brandy, here you go. You're exactly what I was thinking. Okay, so if you have the automation in place and the content, but it doesn't seem to be getting results, it's because the system doesn't work. So you need to go back and test to see what's not working. Is your branding not working? Is the content, what I would guess is that there is a misalignment between what you say you are, what your branding is, what your content you're putting out, and who you think your ideal audience is. That's always the system, right? And to some extent, the products as well. But there's a misalignment there. Something's out of place. And without that piece in place, you can keep pushing effort in and you're always going to get thrown off course. So you could have, and that's unfortunately, one of the frustrating things about when you start a business. And I definitely went through this as well, which is there's a lot of trial and error. Like, you're trying to figure out what works. And you think, like, I've been in the situation before where I've built out funnels and I'm like, I thought this funnel was doing okay and it didn't do okay. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing and the funnel wasn't getting me anywhere. So you had to go in and change things. So Jane says, if the steps you just showed feels overwhelming, any advice? You want to start a business though, right, Jane? So this is like where I would go back to is what your why is. Remember in the beginning, I asked you guys what your why was. Why did this year have to be the year? So when you're very clear on why you're doing it, yes, you're always going to be overwhelmed. I mean, like I would say that like I feel not a tremendous sense of overwhelm, but I always feel like a sense of trepidation before I do most things in my business. Like, going into this launch, right? Even going into like, okay, I'm doing this launch and then I'm going into having to teach empire building and do that 6-week business accelerator. It's like that gives me a little bit of anxiety and I have to question like, how am I going to organize my work so I can do this and some other things at the same time? So there's always a little bit of overwhelm, but I think when you break things down into manageable pieces and you set realistic goals, that what ends up happening is you begin to realize that you can trust yourself, but you're only going to do that by taking action, right? So action will lead to confidence, right? That's what's going to end up taking you to move the needle. And that's why I said before that it can be disheartening if you are someone who started a business and you've tried and you're putting in effort and the effort is not panning out. Right? Like in Brandy's situation, sounds like she's done a lot of work, automations on the back end, and she's not getting the results that she wanted. It's frustrating to have to think that like you've put in effort and that effort isn't going to pan out. And for some people, if they're not connected enough to their why and really know what it is they're trying to do, they might give up, right? They might give up. And that's why a lot of people do give up. That's why business isn't necessarily, I think it's very straightforward, but it's not easy, right? Like what we have to do is very straightforward, but it's not necessarily easy. And that's why I'm putting a mindset class into empire building so that we can kind of have that process in place for helping us to stay motivated and inspired, even in times where it's like, you know what, you just did all this work on a launch and you didn't get any signups. Like how terrible does that feel? That it makes you want to give up, but that's why we need the mindset work to like help us push forward. Okay, we're almost at 4:00 Eastern. Does anyone have any last questions before we say goodbye? And remember, you guys, that $111 off is going to expire Monday night. So if you want to get in with the fast action bonuses, you want to get in with the photography course and the discount, it's all Monday night's the time to get in. But obviously you have actually, and I didn't say this, I'm so sorry. The class, the actual business coaching starts on April 1st. So you have until the close of the month to buy. And if you're on my email list, I'll send you reminders. Yeah, so Jane says it stops you from starting, but maybe you should. Absolutely. Like, that's the thing. It's like, do you want this goal or do you not want this goal? Right? That's up to you. I'm not trying to convince anyone to start a business who doesn't feel a pull to do it. That's not my place. That's not my job. I'm just here to support and provide resources and knowledge and experience and guidance to people who know that they do want this and they would like someone who has seen it done, who's done it with other people. Okay, it sounds like I'm getting a little, it's like that that's what she said sometimes, but someone who has gone through the process of building a business themselves online, has made it successful. Like I said, I only did one business, right? I haven't started and stopped and started and stopped and started and stopped. I had one, I stuck to it and made it work. I figured it out, right? So I can also figure it out with you. So that's all I have to offer to you guys is my knowledge, my experience. If you say, Alexis, I'm having a problem with this, what do I do? Alexis will give you some advice. But you have to decide if this is something you want to do. Like any big decisions in life, it's going to be a little scary until it's done. So here's Carol says, Jane, I felt the same way and I just took it week by week, class by class. It all makes sense when you start doing it. Yes. Carol is a graduate of the fall business accelerators and a member of my mastermind as well. So she knows very well that it really is just take it week by week, piece by piece. And in empire building, one of the things, I didn't really talk about this too much. I did say that you get like workbooks and you get worksheets too for all of the modules. So I help you actually with worksheets break through the essential business activities you have to do in order to get your business up and running. Okay, Tess says, how does one automate services if your business is primarily service-oriented, product-oriented? Okay, so you don't necessarily need to automate your services, but you can automate the back end. So you can automate your marketing, right? So that you're always putting marketing out there. You've got your email sequences, your funnels, right? Where you're spreading the word about your business. That can be automated. You can automate the systems in the back end. Like a lot of people who start a business that's service oriented, right? They'll find a customer, right? And then they'll send them an invoice. The customer pays. Then they send them the scheduling stuff to get scheduled to do whatever it is they're going to do. Let's say it's like a coaching package, right? So that obviously you're not going to be able to automate doing your thing, right? Like whatever your activity, your service is. But you can automate the parts of the business that are things that you might not want to do, right? Like you can automate the finances, you can automate the systems in the back end with your shop and scheduling and things like that. So that all that makes it easier. So like just imagine, Tess, whatever it is that you do, I'm going to assume, let's just say that you're a business coach, right? Or like a coach of some sort, of life coach. Imagine waking up in the morning and you have people who've already paid and have scheduled themselves in. And so all you have to do is look and see who's scheduled for what time and make the appropriate calls or jump on the appropriate Zoom meetings, right? So like for that can be such a time and energy saver for an entrepreneur just to have that sort of automation set up for themselves. So of course, no one's, if what your job is let's say you build websites for people, right? You're not going to be able to automate building the websites for people, right? You're going to have to go in and do that work. It's not like a computer is going to do it for you, but the process of marketing yourself and gathering your leads and selling to your prospective clients, all of that can be automated. Does that make sense? And by the way, although you do something service related, you may be able to add some sort of product in a passive income stream as well. So that's the other thing is like, I really just want one of my other very big messages with empire building is don't put all your eggs in one basket, like diversify your income, add in some passive income things. A lot of people think like I couldn't add passive income into what I do. I bet you I could come up with some ideas of like how you can actually integrate some passive income products into your process, even if it's like affiliate marketing, even if you're just doing affiliate sales. Okay, well, it is now 4. I have not seen any other questions pop by, so I'm going to say my goodbyes, everyone. Thank you so much for showing up today. Before you leave, if you got any information or inspiration from today, I want to make sure you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Make sure you get yourself the workbook. It's linked down below in the description box. And like I said, you have until Monday evening to get the $100 off and the free photo course. And you have until the close of March to actually join Empire Building. I'm going to leave it open until we actually get started. So 6 weeks of group coaching starts April 1st, 3 calls every other week. You get lifetime access to the replays and the modules of Empire Building, plus all of the resources and a year of support from me. So I hope to see you all in Empire Building soon, okay? Bye. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and have a great weekend.